Hello and welcome to the Musical Instrument Investigator. Today we're on the website of French auction portal Share. We're going to have a look at an auction by Vichy Auctions. So for those of you that don't know, Vichy is a big auction house in France and they do quite a few auctions on musical instruments. This one seems to be general musical instruments and also bowed strings of the lower kind of tier. This is happening on March the 26th. It's the 17th today, so a few days left to go. They do also have two other auctions coming up, one on the 27th and one on the 28th, and the value of items gets progressively higher as we progress. So this is the lowest tier of auction. Looks like 25% is the buyer's premium, might be a few other bits and pieces here and there. Bear in mind this is a French auction, so if you're outside of France, then import, export fees, shipping, CITES restrictions, all of that usual stuff. Quite a lot of lots in this auction, 398. We'll try and get through it as quickly as we can. If you do enjoy these videos, please consider liking or subscribing, turn on notifications, comment, all of that kind of fun stuff that is helpful. Right, so without further ado, as there's quite a lot of stuff to get into, let's just see what we have. Got a Neapolitan mandolin there, Ferrari label. One of these flat back mandolins, but with a double top from the Gelas workshop, so not uncommon either. Neapolitan mandolin there from Catania. Banjo mandolin, a couple more mandolins there. Another Neapolitan mandolin. None of these are particularly super high level, so we will just skip those for the moment. Flat mandolin from Mirko, banjo mandolin. Few cases, etc. French banjo guitar there, Dolly brand banjolele, another flat back mandolin there of the Czech kind, another flat back mandolin but slightly nicer, Le Frère Jérôme label there. It looks in pretty good condition there, €50 to start on that. Neapolitan mandolin with hidden mechanics, okay, interesting, yeah, that's curious. €20 to start. I wonder if that's an after edition, because I've not actually seen a Neapolitan mandolin with that. I wonder if someone has just added that on, but that is curious. Anyway, 5-string banjo. Got an oud, simple works, so it's probably just a tourist one. Yeah, it does look like that. Lute guitar, 1900, sold as is. You see lots of these. I'm not a fan, I'll be honest. Another lute guitar here, same thing, they are just guitars with kind of lute bodies. Classical guitars there, these are pretty low kind of quality stuff. Bass case, some more generic kind of classical guitars there. A lower tier Jose Ramirez there. Okay, classical guitar, Valencia Gonzalez, made in Paris around 1950. Once again, I think lower tier, but kind of interesting aesthetics to it. Plastic guitar made by Macafari in around 1950, €50 on that. These are quite curious. 12-string folk guitar there, Yamaha, Harley Benton, that's a budget guitar there. German composite Domra guitar with double bass head, made around 1900. It's a pretty bonkers looking thing there. Estimate €50. Some more kind of lower tier guitar stuff here. This is interesting. Sarod guitar, brand Tronad, made in India around 2010. Okay, interesting looking things that you come across. More Harley Benton stuff here, nothing too crazy. Steel string, Spanish classical guitar, Baltasar Calvo label, made in Valencia around 1890. So an older Spanish guitar there. 12-string by Suzuki, one of these Hawaiian guitars that seem to have been really popular in France for whatever reason. Classical study guitar, bearing the Clodomino Ramirez label. It's quite wide, looks like quite a wide body on that. Another Hawaiian guitar there, and another one. Yeah, I only ever see these Hawaiian guitars in these French auctions for whatever reason. More classical ones here. Classical study guitar, by Paulino Bernabei. Okay, interesting. Let's have a look at this. Bernabei actually a really good maker, but this does look like a lower level one. Clarissa acoustic, one of these curious little guitars from the 70s, a Kawai one. Eastern folk classical guitar, romantic style guitar from Germany. These are pretty common. So far you can see this is a fairly low tier auction. It will probably stay this way, but there might be some interesting things. Popular work double neck 6-string lap steel. I think in this term the translation means kind of just amateur really, more than popular. So let's see what else we got here. Surprise box, it says, different bits of violins and other things. Yeah, interesting. It's a real mixture of different stuff there. Let's see what else we got here. Classical guitar, Vox brand amp, Corland band transistor amplifier, Hohner chromatic bass harmonica, Hohner melodeon there, chromatic accordions. This is quite interesting. Cooperativa Harmonisch chromatic accordion made in Vercelli, Italy, 100 to 150. I do quite like some of these. These are quite nice. Another chromatic accordion here. Fairly nice looking one. See what else we got here. More chromatic accordions. Interesting bandoneon here. 20 to 30 on that. Tyrolean accordion there. It's kind of interesting. And German melodeons there, 2 accordions, one made in the USSR. Elements of a spectacular Serbian bagpipes with bellows. Okay, interesting. Definitely looks kind of curious looking thing. Macedonian bagpipes, complete. Bosnian bagpipes, someone had a collection there of Balkan bagpipes. A lot of traditional violins, so interesting. Balalaika, a rebec there is an Epinette de Vosges, I think, of some kind, not particularly high level. Some interesting instruments here. A bulbul livestock bell, interesting. Indonesian dragon head lute there, melodica by Hohner. Lot of 4 valija from Madagascar, different sizes. These are quite nice looking. Another balalaika, set of 3 instruments, including piano accordion. Okay, one of these zithers, one of these interesting little things. Hohner guitarette, okay, interesting. Ukulele, harmonicas, more zithers, panpipes or panflutes, old washboard, harmonica, dutar from Central Asia, some recorders. A bell monochord, okay. Ocarinas, harmonica, zithers again, another ocarina, harmonetta, Hohner. Interesting looking thing there. Bamboo and jaw harps there. Asian oboes, Hohner chromatic accordion thing. Chromatic harmonica. Set of small jaw harps, armpit drums, wooden flutes, more harmonicas, bone flutes here. Yeah, kind of curious collection. Tarka from Bolivia. Daf Iran made of wood. Hohner brand harmonica there. 5 wooden nose flutes, interesting. More harmonicas, a music stand. It's a kind of baton thing. metronomes, little amp there, a load of banjo heads, that's kind of interesting, conductor's baton, some kind of string testing instrument or something like that. Saxophone mouthpieces, piccolo flute there, more piccolo flutes, another piccolo flute, boxwood flageolet, this is quite nice. It's kind of fairly nice, needs, it's had some cracks and restorations there. Another piccolo there, a set of flutes, silver flute there, some recorders, more flutes, bent silver metal flute, okay, that's interesting, more flutes and clarinets, like nothing so far is super crazy. Whole load of clarinets here, set of 4 clarinets, got one of these metal clarinets here as well, another oboe, modern boxwood oboe, horn rings, okay, it's interesting. Alto saxophone there, another alto, silver alto saxophone, silver tenor saxophone, another alto, soprano, 2 cornets, brass cornets here, whole load of different cornets here, 2 bugles, 1 stamped mahillon, okay, another cornets, whole load of different cornets here, none of them I think are too crazy. Stozel 3-piston cornets there, 1 stamped Guatero, brass bugle stamped Cousineau with its tassel things, 2 more brass bugles there, cornet, flugel horn, and a couple of other bits here, C trumpet, cornets again, flugel horn, brass cornet, B flat bugle stamped first place, that's quite a funny little thing. A lot of 4 bugles there, another bugle, it's quite a lot of bugles in this auction. 3-piston trumpet, brass bugle, some other bits here, we've got some bass sax horns here, baritone actually, 2 baritone sax horns here, more baritone sax horns, alto sax horns, more bass sax horns, so that's interesting. Double horn in F B flat, French horn there, fanfare horn, more alto horns here, hunting horn in D by Chapuis in Lyon, let's have a look at that, do quite like some of those. Trombone, right, okay, we're into some kind of violins now. 20th century Mircore, half size JTL. Most of the stuff in this is going to be JTL, French Mircore stuff, so we don't really need to look at all of it, to be honest. German violin there, more Mircore stuff. Let's have a look at this 20th century violin. I think we can kind of know what it's all going to look like. It's actually not too bad, that 356 length to back, that is okay. We'll carry on, more French stuff. It's like an endless sea of French stuff. This is kind of curious. Modern industrial viola, 415. Pretty curious F-holes on that. And it's like no purfling, ink purfling. I would say that's like an amateur made instrument. Modern industrial viola, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just an amateur one. But my personal opinion anyway. 20th century violin from the eastern countries. Let's see, 359. Yeah, it looks like a kind of Eastern European kind of thing. I think I had one kind of similar at some point. 2 violins, including a German violin. Let's see. So this is the kind of the budget auction. So take your time and have a look. You might find something interesting, but most of it is going to be lower tier Mircore stuff. We've got a 19th century Mircore. Let's have a look at this one. It's got the Marquis de l'Air d'Oiseau. Some of those can be not too bad. €300 on that. Let's see, 19th century violin by JTL. That has been well and truly fiddled about with. Miracle stuff here. Miracle violin around 1810 to 1830. Let's have a look at this. That's actually nice enough for 200 euros. 366 though, it's very large. Let's see what else we got here. Let's have a look at this 19th century violin, probably from Eastern countries, head later. Yeah, not too bad. German violin Lebert, more Miracle stuff here, more Miracle. German violin, let's just have a look at that. I suspect we're going to get hit by 1 million French bows at some point as well. If not, pretty soon. Maybe there's no bows in this auction, who knows. 7/8 Miracle, 19th century violin. Let's have a look at that one. 360 length of back. Obviously needs a fair bit of work there. Miracle stuff here. 19th century violin bearing the iron mark of L. Dupurat. 358. It's had some worm. Let's see what else we got here. Anything curious? German violin from the beginning of the 19th century. Okay. More Miracle stuff. Some of these might have really nice backs, I think. It's quite possible some of these Miracle violins are really got some nice wood, but I just can't be bothered to go into all of them because they all look pretty much the same. German violin with a Steiner label. Let's see what else. If there's anything interesting. 19th century German with a Klotz label. It's all pretty much the same, and that's in a fairly bad state as well. Let's have a look at a 20th century Miracle violin there by Quattro. That one's not too exciting. More Miracle stuff here, a few German bits. JTL, another 20th century Miracle. Let's have a look at this 7/8 by JTL. Once again, nothing too exciting on that. Let's see, 20th century violin with a Magini label and double perfing, 367, absolutely huge length of back there. Let's see what else we have. A lot of 3 violins. Says something about an amateur violin here. Yeah, that looks like it could tick the box for amateur violins, and a smaller one there. So interesting little lot. I don't expect anything too crazy from this auction, to be honest. It is the lower tier stuff. Miracle violin, like weird kind of plate contouring on that. That's kind of really quite weird. Anyway, onwards. More Miracle stuff. Another 20th century violin with a Marseillese label. Miracle. Right, a lot of 2 German violin heads. Okay. From the end of the 18th and 19th century. I mean, kind of a bit of a weird lot. 50 euros also seems a bit expensive. Let's see. Printed waves, so it's saying it's got painted flames on the back. There we go, yeah, you do see those occasionally. That's pretty low tier. This could be okay, this Miracle violin. Yeah, it's not too bad, 357. Needs a bit of work, but yeah, not too bad. Let's see, Miracle, 20th century violin from Eastern countries. In the style of Gedler. 359 length of back. Yeah, kind of curious looking thing. I don't think it's that new enough to be one of the kind of Chinese ones, but kind of curious looking F-folds. I kind of like it. It's pretty weird. So that's a curious one. 20th century violin. Let's see anything else here. JTL. Let's have a look at this other 20th century miracle. It's actually got quite a nice figure on the back. It's got a bit of needs a bit of restoration. 19th century violin bearing NS Lund iron mark. Really, it's a ridiculous amount of violins around, isn't there? So more miracle violins, some more heads. Pretty bizarre. German violin, 20th century, double purfling, Magini label. €80 on that. Some more violin heads there. Let's see if there's anything else. Violin bearing the signature of Guiborg. Okay, no purfling on that. That's kind of curious. Violin from the beginning of the 20th century, which has some worm issues. Let's see what else we got here. 2 violins in the Eastern countries with fiddled about varnish. Okay, a lot of 2 viola heads, including one made in miracle around 1770 from the Chapuis school, and a 19th century one. It's actually not too bad a head, to be honest. It's quite nice. Shame about that one that's had a lot of its varnish removed, but yeah, interesting enough. Eastern countries violin there. So, okay, it's not too bad. More miracle stuff here. Okay, we're moving on now. No bow so far. Maybe this is a no bow auction. Wow, a lot of 4 violins they've given up now, to be honest. I think they're like, yeah, we can just dump all of this stuff. Actually, quite nice wood on that. They're just like, we can just dump all of these violins into one auction. Actually, kind of curious violin, that one. So it is worth, yeah, I mean, they're in a real terrible state, but €30, what can you do? And they're clearly just dumping everything into one auction now. Loads of 20th century stuff. French violin made around 1850. It's not too bad. Another set of multiple violins. 20th century miracle stuff. 19th century composite violin. Okay. Accident. Interesting, yeah, it's in a pretty bad soundpost crack on the back, so not ideal. Some more scrolls there. More violins there, more scrolls, French heads. If you're looking for a French head, I guess that's handy. Miracle violin made around 1860. 363 length of back there. I actually quite like that, but it is quite a long length of back there. Some more 3/4 20th century JTL. Let's see what else we got here. More 20th century stuff. More miracle. Let's see, German violin. Let's see what else we got here. Anything interesting. 19th century miracle violin with the iron mark of L. Maginot. Yeah, quite nice. Back on that, 362 needs a bit of work. More set of 2 violins. They are just dumping them all together. So this is the very low tier auction for sure. Lots of 3/4 violins. A lot of this stuff not worth really going into, to be quite honest. Violin made in the Schuster workshops there. Well, as an experimental model, probably Marknerkirchen. Is this one of these kind of ones which looks like, yeah, the Rigart Rubus stuff that they were chucking out with these weird rounded corners? Set of 2 violins here. I mean, it's all French tradey stuff, really. Some of it might be decent enough. Some heads there. And last 2 violins. A lot of 3 violins gone then. Let's have a look at these 3/4 stuff. All pretty standard fare. So I think that is pretty much it. So there we go. That has been the the Vichy auction for the 26th of March, a real kind of low-level auction of bowed and plucked instruments. A few kind of interesting things here and there, but nothing too crazy. But I'll put a link in the description so you can check it out yourself. Thanks a lot for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.